So as we all know, Scream 7 was confirmed to be releasing at some point a few months ago, but now we have all new details on the exact release date of this movie and what we can expect for the plot of this movie as well. Neve Campbell took to Instagram to make a few announcements, and so in today's video we are going to be talking about that as well as everything else we know plot-wise when it comes to the movie Scream 7. So if you want to learn a little bit more about this movie before it eventually releases, then go ahead and stay tuned, grab yourself a snack and a drink, sit tight, and let's get into this. So Neve Campbell actually posted on Instagram today that it is going to be a killer 2026 with the date February 27th, 2026 highlighted. This is obviously telling us that the release of Scream 7 will be taking place in February of 2026. I'm gonna be honest, I seen the February 27th on the date on the little calendar part and I got very excited, but then I seen the 2026 and it kind of let me down a little bit. February 27th of 2026 is over a year away. It's not even just a year away now. We still have a couple of months to go before we even get to February of 2025. So this movie has a long time before it releases. But we all know that as soon as we start getting like behind the scenes pictures and footage or more details about the plot revealed, time is going to seem like it flies by more and more the farther we go. So honestly, maybe it won't feel as far as over a year from now. But we can expect Scream 7 to be out February 27th of 2026, and honestly I am so hyped for this. So a few things that we already know about this movie. We know that Neve Campbell is obviously coming back to reprise her role as Sydney, and the reason for that is because Melissa and Jenna are unable to make this filming. Melissa was actually fired and Jenna Ortega had prior agreements to be filming Wednesday, and this is interesting because originally Neve Campbell actually declined to show up in the Scream 6 movie. She's on record stating that what she was offered felt like she wasn't being valued enough for her role, so she actually turned down a role in the Scream 6 movie, but now since, you know, they kind of need a main character for 7 since the two main characters from before won't be featured in this film, apparently the offer was good enough now. Another character that was teased by Neve to return for this is Courtney Cox, and we know that she obviously plays Gale Weathers in all of these Scream movies, so she is probably most likely going to be making a return for 7 as well alongside Sydney. And number one, something about this movie, it is confirmed that Sydney will be the main character. It will be following Sydney and her journey throughout this movie. The exact nitty-gritty of the plot details have yet to be revealed, but we know that it will be following Sydney, so it will most likely follow her journey as an adult years and years after the prior Scream films. We know that Sydney is now married and has children, so we could very well see something very dark in that manner, and we will basically just see what she's been up to since the last time we saw Sydney Prescott on Scream. So with the story following her, there's a lot of ways they could go with this. It could A, be someone very close in her inner circle of family that ends up being Ghostface. It could be the popular rumor that everyone wants to see, being Matthew Lillard returning as Stu Macher. That's one of the biggest rumors for the Scream franchise, that Stu Macher is not dead, and so people ultimately want to see Matthew Lillard return one more time in this movie in some capacity. And they could very well go that route with this movie. Let's say that Stu Macher is in prison, or he got out of prison and now he's trying to find Sydney to finish the job. There's plenty of different ways they could go with this. I wouldn't be mad at them using Stu Macher in this movie in some capacity, but a lot of people that I have talked to do not think that they should go that way with this, and I wouldn't be mad if they didn't go that way with this either. For every time I watch a new scary movie, I like for it to be a fresh and a new twist. Like obviously, there will be some continuance in the story, but as far as Ghostface in the Scream movies goes, I like for it to be someone new. I'm not sure how I would feel if it was someone I just A, either completely expected, or B, we've already seen in the costume before. Something else we could very well see is Kirby returning in Scream 7 as well. It has been rumored that they are working on a spin-off Scream series just completely revolving around Kirby and her work as a Secret Service agent in the FBI, so that will be something interesting to look at as well. Maybe this movie is what propels that series in the right direction. But we can definitely expect number one, Neve Campbell. Obviously, we can probably expect Courtney Cox as Gale Weathers as well, and I wouldn't be surprised if we were to see Hayden Panettiere reprising her role as Kirby in the Scream 7 movie. Following Neve Campbell's adult journey, I'm not sure how this is going to play out exactly. Like I said, we know that she is married with children now. Maybe her husband ends up being Ghostface. Maybe some very dark and crazy stuff happens and Ghostface kidnaps her children and she has to go and find Ghostface. It'd be interesting to see Neve Campbell finally snap and hunt down Ghostface as opposed to her running from Ghostface for once. I think that that's something pretty interesting, and that's a way that they could go with this movie. But ultimately, in the end, as far as it goes with plot and story details, we only have what we've been given so far, so for the full extent of it, we are just going to have to wait and find out. Like I said earlier in this video, I'm very excited for Scream 7. I really hope that this movie plays up to the hype that I myself am putting behind it. I'm not sure how exactly it's gonna go since we don't have our two main characters anymore that were in the prior two films, but I'm sure that they already know that they have a lot on their plate and they have a lot of weight on their shoulders right now to carry this franchise into the right direction, the way that they already were for Scream 5 and 6, so we are ultimately gonna have to find out. I'm sure it'll all play out fine. I really hope so. What do you guys think Scream 7 is going to bring to the table for us? Do you think it's going to live up to the hype? Do you think it's going to be as good as the previous two installments? What do you think this movie is going to be? Let me know down in the comments below. And right after you let me know that down in the comments below, be sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. And as always, if you're going to subscribe to the channel, then you might as well click that notification bell as well, because it is literally right there next to that subscribe button. My name is Haydxn. It was an immense pleasure having you here on the channel. That was a big word. That sounded weird. I don't know why I said that. Thank you for watching this video. It was a pleasure having you here on the channel, and I cannot wait to see you guys in the next one. Peace!